Who knew Thursday was a hot news day? On today's show, Jeep reveals the new Grand Wagoneer, a legendary Volvo returns, and Mercedes shows off the all-new S-Class. Plus, car trends we want back, damn it! I'm Cameron Neveu, and this is Hagerty's Daily Driver. Buckle up. Alright, so after teasing us for weeks, Jeep has finally unveiled its Grand Wagoneer Concept. Jeep says the truck will have ultra-premium features, leading-edge technology, and a luxurious interior. The Grand Wagoneer is aimed at a more affluent customer who needs to transport a lot of fancy people up a mountain, or at least to a nice mall. It's like a long-wheelbase Grand Cherokee, if you will, or perhaps Range Rover by Jeep. Built on the Ram 1500 frame, it will be offered in two models, the Wagoneer and the larger, more upscale Grand Wagoneer. The Concept has an all-electric powertrain aligning with Jeep's plans for electrification options on all of its models in the next few years. Now, production models will probably have a V6 or a V8, and because it's FCA, there will probably be a Hellcat engine in there somewhere. Do you see the Jeep brand being accepted as a status symbol like Range Rover? Let us know in the comments. Speaking of expensive things, remember that camouflaged Volvo P1800 we saw running around in July? Turns out it was this, the Volvo P1800 Cyan. It's a restomod built by Cyan Racing. They were Volvo's motorsports partner for 20 years, helping Volvo win the 2017 World Touring Car Championship. Cyan built this car to celebrate that season, and may I say, what a stunner. Cyan took a 1964 P1800 and changed the body slightly, widening the track and enlarging the wheel arches, among other changes. Oh, and they made it wicked fast. The engine is a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder, making 420 horsepower and 336 pound-feet of torque. Now, that may not seem like a lot in today's money, but the car only weighs 2,100 pounds. Power goes through a 5-speed manual with an independent rear suspension to keep everything planted. Oh, and it doesn't have ABS or traction control. How very un-Volvo. You know what's also un-Volvo about it? This resto mod costs $507,000. But hey, if Aston, Jaguar, and Bentley are cloning their famous dinosaurs, why not? Now, what's the exact opposite of a race-bred Volvo with no traction control? The all-new 2021 Mercedes S-Class, of course. While the exterior is a dull evolution of the outgoing car, the interior has more tech than its cyborg trade show. But, as with people, the important stuff is on the inside. Aww. Now, this car has so much technology, it's hard to keep track of it all. Things like the giant OLED screen, or an augmented reality heads-up display that has 3D navigation, the world's first rear seat airbags, interior lights that turn red if the car is in danger. And are you tired of using memory buttons for your seat settings? Gone. This S-Class uses fingerprint recognition. The stereo? 31 speakers, some of which are hidden in the seats so you can actually feel the music. That's fancy. Coming up, a segment we're calling Bring It Back, where we detail all of the automotive trends we miss. But first.
Compact, nimble, yet every inch a Mercedes-Benz.
Now it's time for a new segment we call Bring It Back. Maybe not that commercial, though. This is where we talk about automotive style trends we want to see return. First up, vinyl roofs. Now, you might remember seeing these on 60s muscle cars or maybe even Cadillacs from the 70s and 80s. But the vinyl roof first came about in the 1920s because it resembled the folding roof on a horse-drawn carriage. Interesting. They fell out of style in the 1930s but came back strong in the 1960s. They looked like convertibles but were much cheaper to buy. Customers got to pretend they drove a more expensive car, and automakers could turn a normal coupe into a faux luxury cash cow. But what happened if they wanted to put the top down? Anyways, why do we want them back? Because in a sea of unrecognizable graphite gray crossovers, we need a little bit of weird in the mix. Next up, side pipes. The exhaust system that endangered leg hair everywhere. Reserved for high-performance vehicles, side exit exhausts have been used on the Mercedes SLS and SLR, the Ford Mustang, the Dodge Viper, and of course, the Shelby Cobra, among others. Why do we want it back? Who the heck wouldn't? It makes cars sound amazing. It shakes the car next to you, and if you're not careful, it'll burn your leg when you exit the car. Now that's a car that demands respect from friends and foes alike. Lastly, the Ute. It's the car that could carry stuff in the truck that doesn't drive like a tractor. In 1958, Chevy began selling the El Camino. Now this was 2 years after Ford launched its Ranchero. They offered the comfort of a car with the cargo space of a truck. In Australia, farmers had been driving car-truck hybrids since the 1930s, and the Aussies kept buying them long after America stopped. The Holden Commodore Ute was for sale up until 2017 when the company closed. But Ford sells this Falcon Ute today. We want them back because they look cool, and sometimes you just need the bed of a truck without all that ground clearance and added weight. Plus, what car would be better to take to the track than a car that can carry its own racing wheels? Bring back the Ute. Man, I miss all that stuff. What about you guys? Let us know in the comments or head over to community.hagerty.com to start the conversation. That's it for me. Tiffany's back next week. Have a great weekend and keep driving. Probably be and then be offered with. How about have? Production models will probably be